Have you ever felt that sharp, sudden twinge in your back? The one that just stops you in your tracks and makes you wonder, uh-oh, is this serious? Well, it's a question millions of us ask. But here's the thing. What if the answer isn't always the scary surgery we immediately jump to in our minds? Today, we are going to dive deep into the signals your body is sending and explore some incredible non-surgical options that are completely changing the game for back pain. All right, here's what we're covering. First up, we'll help you figure out what your back pain is actually trying to tell you. Then, we'll talk about the absolute red flags you just can't ignore. We're also going to bust the myth that surgery is your only option by looking at a really fascinating procedure called nucleoplasty. And finally, we'll give you the golden rules for keeping your back strong and healthy for the long run. Let's get right into it.
So first things first, that pain in your back. How in the world do you know what it really is? Well, telling the difference between a simple muscle strain and a full-on herniated disc is the absolute first step you have to take.
This right here is the million-dollar question, isn't it? But what's really interesting is that the answer isn't about how much it hurts, it's about how it hurts. Your body gives you clues, and we're about to learn how to read them.
Okay, just look at this for a second. The difference is like night and day, right? On one side, you've got that familiar, dull muscle ache that pretty much stays in one spot. But for a herniated disc, oh, that's a totally different language of pain. It's sharp, it's electric, and it travels. That's the nerve screaming that it's being pinched. And that little detail about coughing making it worse, that is a classic sign that the pressure inside your spine is just way too high.
Now, while most back pain does get better on its own, some signals are less like a gentle reminder and more like a five-alarm fire. These are the red flags that mean you need to stop guessing and get professional help, and I mean right away.
Let's be really clear about these. If you have pain that just does not stop, even when you're lying down resting, that's a big warning. That pins and needles feeling or any numbness, that's your nerve telling you it's in serious distress. But I want you to pay extra close attention to these last two. Any weakness, like you literally can't lift your foot, that's called foot drop. Or the final sign on this list, these are signs of a true medical emergency.
This condition, cauda equina syndrome, gets its name from a bundle of nerves at the end of your spine that kind of looks like a horse's tail. If those nerves get squeezed really hard, it can cause you to lose control of your bladder or bowels. Let me be crystal clear here. This is not a wait-and-see kind of thing. It's a real-deal medical emergency where every single minute counts to prevent permanent damage.
Okay, after all that talk about emergencies, it's pretty natural to think that surgery must be the only real solution, right? But what if I told you that for the huge majority of people, that is just flat out wrong? This is probably the biggest misconception out there.
This quote pretty much flips the script on what most of us believe. The consensus among experts is clear. Surgery isn't where you start, it's where you end up, and only after other options have been tried. And that opens up a whole world of treatments that come first.
Now look at this number. This right here might be the most hopeful piece of information we talk about today. Over 90%. Let that sink in. That means for 9 out of 10 people, the body, with a little help from things like physical therapy and other non-invasive care, can actually heal itself. That's not just a statistic, it's a total shift in how we should think about this condition.
So, speaking of less invasive options, this brings us to one of the most exciting new developments out there. It's a procedure called nucleoplasty, and believe me, it is a true game changer for the right person.
So, how does it actually work? Well, think of a herniated disc like an overinflated tire that's bulging out and pressing on things it shouldn't. Nucleoplasty doesn't cut the bulge off. Instead, it just lets a tiny bit of air out of the tire. A superfine needle goes in and uses a bit of targeted energy to dissolve a small part of the disc's gooey center. This reduces the pressure inside, which lets the bulge shrink back and takes the pressure off that pinched nerve. No scalpel, no stitches. Pretty amazing.
And as you can see here, the whole process is designed to be as easy on you as possible. You're awake, the area is completely numb, and the doctor uses an X-ray like a GPS to guide this tiny needle to the perfect spot. A little bit of energy is applied, and just like that, the pressure's off. It's an incredibly precise and efficient procedure.
So, if nucleoplasty is so great, why does anyone still get surgery? Well, that's because it's for very specific cases. To really get it, let's put it head-to-head with microsurgery, which is considered the gold standard for when an operation really is the best choice.
This table lays it all out perfectly. You can see the trade-offs right away. Local versus general anesthesia, a tiny needle versus a small cut, but the most important difference is right there in that best 4 row. Let's go back to our analogy.
Nucleoplasty is perfect for that bulging tire we talked about, where the disc is still contained. Microsurgery is what you need if the tire's actually ruptured. It's all about matching the right tool to the right problem.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important section, the rules for recovery. Because it doesn't matter which treatment you get, the journey is not over when you leave the doctor's office. This is all about protecting your back for life.
And this is the absolute truth. A procedure, any procedure, fixes the immediate problem, but it's your daily habits that decide whether it stays fixed. The choices you make every single day are what will shield your spine from getting hurt again.
These 4 rules, they are non-negotiable for a healthy back. Weight control is just basic physics. Less weight means less stress on your discs. Good posture when you sit prevents that constant grinding pressure. Lifting with your legs, not your back. We've all heard it, but it's crucial. And this last one, quitting smoking, it gets overlooked all the time, but it is a massive factor. Smoking literally constricts your blood vessels, which chokes off the nutrients your discs need to heal. It's one of the biggest reasons these problems come back.
So we end up right back where we started. Your body is always talking to you through these signals. That little ache, that sharp twinge, that radiating pain. It's not just random noise, it's information, it's data. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it? Listening to those signals and acting on them is the single best investment you can ever make in the health of your back.